Let's go back to the phone lines, and we'll talk next to Thomas in Stewart, Virginia, listening on the web. Hi, Thomas.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing well.
My question was on the concept of the Ten Commandments being only 10. The premise being, in John 14:24, it says, those that do not love God do not keep his commandments. And then 14:15, prior to that, it says, if you love me, you'll keep my commandments and my Father be with you. Paul also establishes that in Romans 3:31 that we are to establish the law. And then in 1 John 2:4, it says, if we say we know him and don't keep his commandments, we're liars. And then John 3:4 defines what sin is. So my question is, in the Ten Commandments, in Exodus 34, where it cites it in the English translation, it says Ten Commandments. But the word there is actually hadabarim, which means these things, the root word being words, sayings, or expressions, not mitzvah, which is the word for commandments in Hebrew. And I'm curious, how do we make that jump and then only limit it to those 10 to be obedient, considering the ramifications of being sinful, and then also in Hebrews 10 of willful sin. And Christ said that he didn't come to do away with the law, he came to establish or fulfill it. But we also can't say that he removed anything from the law, because then he would have sinned, as seen in Deuteronomy 4:2 and Deuteronomy 12:32.
Well, yes and no. I mean, there are civil and ceremonial aspects of the law that Christ clearly, emphatically, and directly tells us no longer apply to us. For example, dietary issues. I think it's Mark chapter 11. It's not what goes into a man's mouth and out through his body that defiles him, but that which proceeds from the heart. And then Mark appends those remarks by saying, in saying this, Christ declared all foods clean. In terms of the commandments and the numbers of commandments, you can summarize all of the commandments in one rule: love your neighbor as yourself. How do we know that? Well, this is exactly what we read about in Romans chapter 12, and we also read about it explicitly in Romans chapter 13. This one rule: love your neighbor as yourself. Love does no harm to its neighbor, therefore love is the fulfillment of the law.